We begin the newscast with the latest coming in on Turkey's invasion of Syria. In a first major gain for Syrian forces, troops loyal to Bashar al-Assad have seized the key town of Kobani, blocking the path of the Turkish army to establish a safe zone in Kurdish areas. Now, Syrian army convoys took control of the town during WION. Kobani holds a lot of significance for the Kurds and is symbolic of their self-rule ambitions. It's important to note that all this has happened at the time when the UNSC closed-door meet has also concluded. Earlier, at the UNSC closed-door meeting over Turkish invasion of Syria, the US ambassador to the UN said that Turkey needed to declare ceasefire immediately, but defiant Turkey said that ISIS is not our responsibility alone. Despite the sanctions, President Tayyip Erdogan of Turkey has vowed to continue the offensive in Syria till Ankara completes the formation of a buffer zone.
Barış Pınarı Harekatı, Münbis'ten Irak sınırına kadar olan hattın tamamında daha önceden ilan ettiğimiz 30-35 kilometrelik derinliğe ulaşana kadar sürecektir. Bu konuda hiçbir istisnamız, hiçbir tereddüdümüz, hiçbir açık kapımız yoktur. Türkmenistan'ı da buraya kattığımız Suriye'deki sorunun en kestirme yolu, bunun için de teklifimiz hemen bu gece tüm teröristler silahlarını, malzemelerini, her şeylerini bırakıp kurdukları tuzakları imha edip belirlediğimiz güvenli bölgeden dışarı çıksınlar.
Erdogan has promised that he would never declare a ceasefire in northern Syria. He also said that he was not worried about US sanctions and he will not negotiate with the Kurdish forces. Turkey's defense ministry now said that its forces have killed a total of 637 People's Protection Units and Kurdish Workers' Party terrorists as a part of the operation. Our correspondent Nick Harper sent us this report from New York. Let's listen into what Harper had to say.
So let's start with that. Kelly Craft coming out after that meeting to speak about what had taken place, but also the US demands on Turkey. She said really top of the list was that there must be an immediate ceasefire. The big concern for the United States, according to Kelly Craft, the US UN ambassador, is that it's undermining the campaign to defeat ISIS, with those 11 to 12,000 ISIS prisoners held in northeastern Syria, many of them originally under guard from some of the Kurdish population there. The big worry is that they will be escaping, and there have already been reports that some of those fighters and their families have managed to escape. So the United States is concerned about that. They've asked for the immediate ceasefire. On top of that, we know that away from the United Nations, in a few hours' time, the Vice President of the United States, Mike Pence, will be flying to Ankara to speak to the Turkish President, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, to demand that ceasefire. Also, in this United Nations Security Council meeting that took place behind closed doors, we know that the European members on the Council, there's 5 of them, the UK, France, Belgium, Poland and Germany, were pushing for Turkey to end their action in Syria, but also to do much more to protect the civilians. What's different this time round compared to the meeting that we had a week ago from the UN Security Council is that they did manage to come out with a unanimous statement, something that didn't happen a week ago. This time round, they managed to come out and say unanimously they were deeply concerned about the risk of the dispersion of terror groups, so those ISIS fighters escaping, and also concerned about the risk of a further escalation of the humanitarian situation in the region. But they didn't say what they expected to happen next. That was something that they were unable to agree on. So just those simple 2 sentences was all that the 15 members of the Council were able to collectively agree to.